one of the things that I like to do is I like to wait until all of the evidence come out before I start to have conversations about specific things. What y'all will realize over time is that I'm not always even remotely one of the first or the second or the third people that wind up reporting information or talking to giving my opinion on it. Even when it came to this whole shit show that happened over the past weekend. But I tend to wait, and I wait for everybody else to get all of the views and everything like that. Thank you, Whoopi Rock. I'm definitely going to be reading super chats throughout the show. I tend to wait until after all of the views and everything comes out, and then I start to have a conversation and give my perspective because I'll have more context in order to talk about, right? Somebody asked me earlier, they said, where did I get this hoodie? I want to tell y'all where I got the hoodie, but they haven't paid me for it. This is actually like real Lego type material on this. Like it's actual like real things. If you can see the little Lego things. I want to tell y'all where I got my R2D2 hoodie, but they haven't paid me for it. So tell them to send a check, and then I'll start talking about where it is that I got it. Shout out to Derek T. I see the super chat. I got the 85 inch right there now, so I don't have to look back and forth at the laptop. I can see what everything is coming up in real time. So shout out to the studio for me being able to create a better space for me to have a conversation with y'all. And that way I don't have to keep turning my head back and forth from the mic and y'all can hear me clearly the whole time. But I'm going to be reading super chats throughout the show. Nashville shooter. I'm going to play the news and then we're going to break it down because there's some thoughts that I have based off of what's going on. All right. Make sure y'all hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, turn on your notifications, and let's get it, ladies and gentlemen.
And we begin this morning with the latest on that devastating school shooting in Nashville, Tennessee. This morning, we're getting our first look at the disturbing new surveillance video of the suspect. We do want to warn you, the video is upsetting.
Yeah, it shows the shooter, a former student, police say.
Now, what you're seeing right now, you will not see any children in this video at all. It has been modified and edited in order to make sure that it doesn't trigger anybody or make anybody feel a certain type of way because this is a sensitive subject and this is real life. This is not our opinion. This is the facts of what's been being presented. The surveillance footage has recently been released from the shooter. This is actually the shooter shooting through the windows or the doors in order to be able to get into the school, okay? It is not going to show any kind of impacts. This is just a surveillance footage of how the shooter got in and then walking around inside of the building. So this isn't anything that shows or depicts violence itself, but this is real surveillance footage that has been released by the police and the school in order to show you how the person got into the school. All right, so let's continue.
Shooting out the doors of the school and wandering through the halls with what appears to be an assault-style rifle. Investigators say the suspect, Audrey Hale, was killed by officers as they were rushing into the building.
I'm going to read your super chat shortly.
We know the victims include 3 students, all 9.
Look at this, y'all. Look at this travesty. Fantasy Island Girl, I see you. Joseph, I see you. Think about this for a minute while we breaking this down, all right? I want to stop here. A Christian school being attacked. Children, 3 children, 3 adults. A Christian school being attacked by somebody that allegedly is identifying as trans. I'm going to continue to play this. But think about this for a minute, y'all. We tussle, we fight, we go back and forth. We talk about black and white and, you know, who for the streets and who not. And that's all good, fun conversation. I enjoy it. I like it. It is like a comedic relief for me to be able to talk about those things because it takes us away from the reality of what we have to deal with every single day. The thing that I choose to tackle with regard to this conversation is the fact that Christians have long been, and it still is, the gospel, Jesus. They trying to remove it from your money. They already removed prayer from the schools. And now you have literal demons. Literal demons running up in your schools and shooting your children. Take that in for a minute. As you watch the video and you see, as a matter of fact, let's do this. Let's just show the footage in its entirety of the person that is walking in with their hat to the back and a camo style fatigue zone, walking
Metro
around in the
Nashville
school.
Police releasing surveillance video of the moments leading up to the shooting there at the Covenant School, that grade school that left 3 young children dead and 3 administrators dead as
Fantasy, sometimes I use my iPhone, and the iPhone is actually much clearer than this. And sometimes I use my Sony A6100s. Right here, this is a Sony A6100. Sometimes I use my iPhone. The iPhones is sometimes way clearer. So I'll show you the iPhone footage in a minute.
As well. We want to show you that right now. We want to just warn you that this is very graphic and viewer discretion is advised. It does show the moments the shooter entered the school and began looking around. Let's watch. Okay, so there you can see the vehicle the shooter drove, that 28-year-old from Nashville, driving up in the parking lot here.
And what is that, a Prius? What is that, a Prius?
Of the school. This was released just moments ago by the Metro Nashville Police Department. The shooter, who the police identified as Audrey E. Hale, saying that the individual identifies as transgender, entered the building by firing through a side door. There you see it.
That's crazy.
The shooter walks in, kicks the glass, armed with 2 assault-style weapons and a handgun. That's according to John Drake. He's the Nashville Police Department chief there.
Look how calm this person is just walking around. Look how calm this person is just walking around. Listen, we got the Asian hate crime bill. We got the victim Olympics. When are we going to start being protected for our kids and our church folk? When is the church folk and the kids going to start being protected? You mean to tell me that every single day that I let my child, I send her off to school and I do all of this other type of stuff, it is a possibility? You telling me that the most vulnerable amongst us are the ones that's being preyed on? The most vulnerable amongst us are the ones that's being preyed on. Black Beauty said, who sent them? The devil. The devil. The most vulnerable amongst us are the ones that's being preyed on. We're sitting here advocating for, we had a whole presidential campaign basically with the Obama administration in which they spent a large majority of their advocacy towards advocating for rights for people to do whatever it is that they want to do when they want to do it. But we can't get no protection for our children. We spend literally billions upon billions of dollars saving and helping people to protect them from themselves that are in self-inflicted wounds, but we can't get nothing done, nothing on the table as far as making sure that our kids are safe in school, that our churches is taken care of, that our Christian organizations that are under attack, and even you being able to have an opinion from freedom of speech is protected. We spend billions every single year on stuff that don't even matter. We fight on the internet about whether or not Pearl called you an African or not.
So remember, the police identified 6 victims in this shooting there. The shooter And you can see
That's crazy.
bracing the weapon, the sirens, it looks like, going off there.
Insane.
And remember, viewer discretion is advised. This literally just happened this morning, and emotions are still raw and still very, very fresh for this community, as now they are seeing this as well. The moments that 28-year-old shooter walked into the Covenant School there in Metro Nashville and started shooting.
That's wild.
There it looks like they pass some type of front entrance. This is at a private Christian elementary school. Okay, so that is the first video released by Metro Nashville Police.
Think about this for a second, y'all. A 28-year-old went into a private Christian school and killed 3 children plus adults. What is happening? If you don't think that it is a war that is happening right beneath your feet, even outside of Ukraine, that it is a war based off of principalities, that it is demonic powers that are possessing what is going on within our society today, you are insane. If you don't think that there's real spirits, demonic spirits, generational curses that is passed down person to person, generation to generation, that is not really taking over what it is that we see happening in real life, you are insane.
Nashville police, Keith, identify the shooter as 28-year-old Audrey Hale, who police say identifies as transgender. That news.
Just give me a second. Because, I mean, gosh, of all the things that could possibly happen in the world, even if you want to say, okay, it used to be women and children, but women wanted to advocate for equal. What? See how being out of place? I can't even say women and children is supposed to be off limits anymore because y'all want it to be equal. Women want to be equal with men. Women want to be men. Men want to be women. I seen a TLC video last night that I almost did a whole live stream on, but a couple was looking for an extra husband, and then a black man that was broken that couldn't even hold down a marriage joined the couple because she seen something in him that was broken that she needed to fix. Man, if this ain't the most fucked up society that I've ever seen in my entire life, I don't know what is. When I'm looked at as the crazy man, but I'm the only person that's actually trying to do it the right way and advocate for people to do it the right way, you know society is fucked up. What? They said I'm crazy. Look at this.
Has already.
I guarantee you there's more people that identify with this person and they only going to be selectively outraged because of what happened to the children. But I guarantee you it's a lot of people that was identifying with this 27-year-old monster that went in and shot up a Christian private school.
He prompted some attacks against the trans community. KPRC2's Bryce Newberry picks up our coverage from here.
Demonstrators at the Texas state capitol Monday fighting against anti-trans bills being considered by state lawmakers as news broke that the Nashville school shooter identifies as transgender.
It doesn't excuse anything that happened. I am concerned about how opposition and people who are anti-trans will try to spin this.
Think about what I don't even know what it is. Listen, what you just heard is a travesty. And let me tell you why. They were more concerned about their rights than the lives of the children. They don't give a fuck about the kids. They don't know their name. They don't give a fuck about them. We completely forgot about Shanquella Robinson. Don't know what the fuck is going on with her father. We don't know nothing about that. Black people spent more energy last week on feeling a certain type of way. Listen, I seen whole panels, whole mob rules panels on that, but it was no kind of, y'all leaders, the people that y'all follow on social media, these motherfuckers ain't did one stream, ain't did one check, ain't wrote one letter, ain't contacted one congressman on fucking Shanquella Robinson. Ain't never called the police to get the homies off the street in their own fucking neighborhood, but they sitting here having a conversation about somebody that ain't got no power to determine their own lives. You got a whole person on here with this transgender thing. They're more concerned about making sure that they maintain power than they are about the kids. They don't care about the parents. What about the one black man that was on that screen? It was a black man on that screen that got killed. Anybody know his name? Hold on, let's go back to it. Give me a second. Let's see if we can find it.
And we begin this morning.
Hold on, let me see if I can see it. Where was it at?
Include 3.
Anybody know his name? Anybody blew up this guy's name right here? Anybody know this black guy's name? Y'all know this guy's name? Who is this guy? Who is this black man that got killed in this Christian school? Anybody know that guy's name? At all? At all. Nobody cares about him, right? His life is meaningless because we up here chasing fucking Nick Fuentes. Let me tell you about Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes, and one of the reasons why I won't have him on the platform and I won't even invite him, he's nothing. He's nobody. He has no control over what happens in your life. He don't even have control over whether or not he can get a voice on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. He's begging for money. Nick Fuentes is nothing. He has a net worth of nothing. Now that Kanye has kicked him out of his life because he realized, listen, I don't really fuck with this dude anyway. Y'all sitting here worried about Nick Fuentes? Don't you know the KKK has no power whatsoever? Nick Fuentes. It's people literally replacing the power structure with their own agendas, and we don't even know the names of the fucking kids. Nobody even knows what happened to the people that killed Shanquella Robinson. Listen to what Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene said. How much hormones like testosterone and medications for mental illness was the transgender Nashville school shooter taking? Everyone can stop blaming guns now. Nobody gives a fuck about the Christian school or the kids or the janitor. Nobody knows about the janitor. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Concern about tweets like this from GOP Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, writing, "How much hormones like testosterone and medications for mental illness was the transgender Nashville school shooter taking? Everyone can stop blaming guns now."
The comparison of they did it because they're trans is very unfair to trans people.
Andrea Segovia from the...
It is unfair to trans people. It's not unfair to the kids that lost their life. We don't give a fuck about them. It's not unfair to the parents who had to come and find out whether or not their kid was shot up. Don't mean nothing. Somebody in the chat said Black Lives Matter is silent. When the last time y'all heard from Black Lives Matter? Or are we only going to see them resurrect themselves and renamed as a different organization when election season come around in order to be able to rile y'all up and be able to do the same thing that they've been doing to y'all for the past 50 years?
Transgender Education Network of Texas joined Monday's battle
Look
at
at
the
this
Capitol, fighting House Bill 6.
They over there doing they got the same rhythm as the hopscotch people. They out there doing chants. Look at this. They are united. They are united. They are practically advocating for the person that just committed the crime because they're fighting for rights on a time when they're supposed to be holding down and giving condolences to the people that actually just lost their life. Don't you know that this agenda has literally replaced everything that y'all thought was relevant about what y'all were fighting for black people? They getting more bills passed, they getting more rights, they getting more advocacy, and they getting more eyes on them than y'all ever gonna get when it comes to reparations. You're not getting a dime, homie. You're not getting 1 penny for reparations at all. Forget about it. The kids will make more. We don't care how many kids actually get massacred at a Christian private school. I wonder if the fact that it's a Christian private school actually reduces the coverage that it's going to get as far as the advocacy and the highlighting from all of your major representatives. Ooh.